Hello everyone. It's now 5 a.m. I must be an addict because here I am making a YouTube video. This was supposed to be a somewhat aggressive response to a man by the name of NephilimFree, because he makes some very, shall we say, aggressive claims in his videos. A two-parter in particular called Atheism is Evil. And I was first filled with anger because of his assertions. And I had a whole line of quotes lined up as a rebuttal. Then I watched his second video. There's something I think that needs to be said, and I don't think that being aggressive about this is going to be the way to get this message across. And so I'm going to handle this a different way. One of the things he asks in his video is, where do atheists get their morals from? Well, that is a question that a lot of religious people ask, and really we get our morals from the same place you get your morals. Now that may be confusing to you, but the real source of morals is our empathy for our fellow man. It's our empathy for the other creatures that walk the earth. Give you an example. When I was 12 years old, we had a shed in the back that we kept all the food for the animals on our land. We had about an acre or so. It was infested with mice, and they were chewing holes in the bags and, you know, getting little bits of food to eat. And my stepfather told me that if I would rid the shed of the mice, and handed me the BB gun, that he would give me $10. So I went back there and I shot one of them, and I killed one of those mice. And as I sat there watching it die, I realized that I had just taken a life for the crime of wanting to eat. And it really didn't matter to me that it was a mouse. And I realized at that point that killing was not something that I was suited for. Now, what struck me about your second video was you talk about Africa. And I can tell that you are not just using it as a talking point. You're actually concerned about what happens there. And I hope you won't mind, I'm going to use your quote exactly, word for word. And by the way, I wholeheartedly agree with your outrage in this particular instance. When he's talking about these villages in Africa that are attacked, and how entire villages are wiped off of the face of the earth simply for being Christian, it touched me. And hopefully I can explain why it touched me. But here goes. This is his quote. Entire villages are mowed down with AK-47s just because they are Christian and for no other reason. Soldiers roll in with trucks and start throwing hand grenades and shooting flamethrowers and AK-47s and cutting everybody to pieces. They burn the village to the ground. Doesn't matter how old they are. Little children, 3-year-olds, running and screaming for mommy. Put a bullet in him. Blow his little head off. Evil. That's evil. Now this may surprise you, but I agree 100% that that is evil. Unfortunately, if you ask yourself who performs that task in Africa, if you honestly ask yourself that question, who does that? I think you'll see it's not atheists that do that. You're right. It's sickening that Christians are butchered in this way simply because they believe in a different God than the people that butcher them. The problem is, the difference between you and me is I can see evil and recognize evil no matter what mask it wears. Joshua 6:21. And they utterly destroyed all that was in the city, both man and woman, young and old. That includes children screaming for their mother, ox and sheep and ass with the edge of the sword. God is no stranger to bloody glory, to murdering children in the name of holiness. Samuel 27, verse 8. And David and his men went up and invaded. That's invaded, not defended. They weren't attacked. They invaded the Geshuites and the Gezerites and the Amalekites. And David smote the land and left no person alive. That includes children screaming for their mothers. And took away the sheep and the oxen and the asses and the camels and the apparel, and left no person alive. Now please don't think I'm trying to start a fight here. All I want is to show you that I agree 100% that troops coming into a town whose only crime is believing something other than they believe and murdering women, children, old people is evil. I simply choose to recognize it wherever I see it. That is how I see the acts done in the name of your God. That is how I see the acts done against the believers of your God in the name of any other God. I choose to see evil wherever it exists. And for the record, if they come for you, I will be there to help you defend yourself. Because that's who I am.